There are two main categories of memory, short-term and long-term. Each category has further subcategories and processes related to it, and there are interactions between each of the categories and processes. Sensory memory is high-capacity memory that briefly captures information received from the sensory system, retaining information for less than a second. Sensory memory conducts relatively little processing of stimuli beyond their duration. Sensory memory is associated with the temporal lobe. Short-term memory is generally limited to the retention of 7 plus or minus 2 items for periods of up to 30 seconds and is the first part of the dual store concept of memory. As an example, short-term memory is that part of memory that captures the start of this paragraph to allow the brain to make sense of the words currently being read by providing context. Short-term memory is associated with the prefrontal cortex within the frontal lobe. Related to short-term memory, the concept of working memory is relatively new. Working memory captures visual and auditory input and interacts with other types of memory to provide a scratchpad function for the brain. Working memory has sufficient cognitive function to allow it to process multiple pieces of information concurrently and is associated with the prefrontal cortex within the frontal lobe. Implicit memory is that part of long-term memory that captures memory of previous events and experiences subliminally, without overt memorization or recall, and involves priming, habituation, and classical conditioning processes. Procedural memory is that part of implicit memory that stores learned behaviours related to processes. Implicit and procedural memory are also known as non-declarative memory and are associated with the primary motor cortex and the cerebellum. Long-term memory holds information for longer periods of up to many years and is comprised of procedural, semantic and episodic memory. Long-term memory that captures factual knowledge, semantic or experiential memories, episodic, is called explicit or declarative memory. Priming is the process within implicit memory that enables a stimulus to be more easily identified when presented with a contextually similar stimulus. Habituation is the implicit memory's recall of a stimulus that is not perceived by the brain as indicating danger and therefore goes unnoticed. Classical conditioning is the process of implicit memory's association of differing stimuli to a response that results in the development of a conditioned response. Proactive interference is the memorization of similar or related old information, inhibiting the memorization of new information. Conversely, retroactive interference is the act of memorization of new information, making it difficult to recall older information.